Yeah, we say all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans. I hope we are all on the same page on this regard. That I'm providing very, very crucial, very, very important. So just to sign up for myself. That's it. I'll quickly read through the civil justice. And this civil justice is all about. There's a program called YOUNGSTAR in state of Wisconsin, government aided program. Okay, and it is for again the low and underprivileged and the poverty population when they are having children or newborn babies or college going students and they cannot afford money. So I said, remember in my earlier sessions, I said people will run, 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 knock, 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 knock on the door, and they'll treat them as a trash, right? So, yes. So, this is another tax fraud crime idea for mankind. So, one side, the Pope Francis mandated poverty for the population, right? So that means when people are working in McDonald's or Walgreens or tobacco stores or alcohol like pubs or hotels, waiters like that, right? They get very less salary, anywhere between $5 per hour or somewhere around that only. Oh, this $15 per minimum wage is another $1 trillion scandal. And wait, watch and see. I know how to discipline the broken USA government my way. Okay, that's another scandal that needs to be handled in a separate way. But this, let me explain to you all in an overview. So, the each nation provides that. Okay, so but then what is the tax scandal is part of it? First of all, they mandate the civilians to be in the poverty mode always. So now quarantine the richest people. Okay, the national leaders, the government officials, the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers, like that. Then quarantine the upper middle class people. Then they're always in the comfortable mode, no matter what. Then come to the middle class population. They always live by the paycheck to paycheck mode, budgeting mode, tight budget like that. Based on their variable and the fixed expenses, it goes. They live day by day. Then quarantine the low income population. Their yearly salary might be anywhere between 10,000 per year to 20,000 per year or less than that or like that. Then the low income can be granularized. Granularity means subclassification. That is all. There's nothing fancy about that. So when I'm going to subclassify, it comes under the subclassification of self-employed, seasonal employed, small business administration. Right? People might even start a own business, but still they can get only less salary like that. Or the street vendors, the street shops like a tea shop or vegetable vendors who take the vegetables on the cart on the roadways like that, so they all come under the low income population only. Now, okay, that if there is only adult population in nation, then the nation can budget accordingly. But then, whenever there is a nation, there are going to be different age groups, meaning children groups of population will also be there. But then they have to provide them the healthy education, right? But then when you're quarantining, provide the task which I provided in a rightful order. So then only then you can understand my education correctly. So first you quarantine all the richest people one side. Just quarantine them. Quarantine means separate them and keep them aside. Then you quarantine all the upper middle class population and quarantine them and keep them aside. Then you quarantine all the middle class population, keep them on side. Then you quarantine all the low income population. So under the low income population only comes the small business application, small business owners, and then the self-employed, seasonal employed, like that. Then there is one more set of the population, right? They are unemployed, but still they have their children. They have to send them to school like that. So they are only quarantine them also. Now, the education on a very basic level, the each nation derived or defined, hey, it is good to provide the education for the children age population starting with this grade level, like that. So it's all a team process. Everybody discussed and everybody defined, and they came up with the covering like that, defined with that policy making process, that kindergarten level, daycare. Daycare means when it comes into the usage, whenever there are working parents, right? So when both the female genders and both the male genders are the breadwinners of the family to get to be in the finance level more, then when they have the children, when they have to go for an 8 hours work job, they have to drop their child somewhere in a safe place. So that is called daycare. So by then, they have to provide define a processing. So this program, this YOUNGSTAR program, I'm absolutely positive all the other states must have the same program but in a different brand name or different name. Okay. So this government aided processing, what does it do is, it provides a calculator and it provides finance aid for the household. Yeah, identify the household and how many children are there in the household, and that many children they will give the financial aid. If there is 10 children or 100 children or 1 children, like that. So, and they will say, okay, the government is providing this much of finance aid, you can go and provide the education. It can be used for daycare, it can be used for childcare, it can be used for kindergarten, to pre-kindergarten, to elementary, to middle school, to the high school, to the college education, everything accordingly. But then they provided tax fraud. Can you all see how it sounds? The program sounds good. The program looks good, sounds good, but they say it's not what you see. You will not get what you see, right? But there is another, you get what you see or you pay for what you get. There are so many slangs to, to say, to converse. But this one, it sounds good. The program sounds good. Right, because it's a government aided operation, federal and state government funded organization that's going to provide the educational aid, finance aid for the household who are having children, and it sounds good, looks good, but reality is what? It is a scandal, my dear fellow mankind, deadliest scandal. Why? No matter what, in United States of America, I'm absolutely positive in all nations, daycare cost is highest cost, it's costly. Okay, even for per week, roughly anywhere between $250 to $500, anywhere that range people have to pay for providing, having one child in the daycare. So imagine what if the family is going to have 2 children or 3 children or 100 children. Oh my, the expense is costly. Now leave the daycare part of it. Okay, how about the pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, the elementary, even that is also costly. Okay, how about the middle school and the high school, even that is also costly. Then the college, that's also costly. Okay, then what will happen? All these people, the richest people will not get any loans. So they will not be in any of the systems. So they will be free always, forever. Right. But who are the people who fall in trap? The middle class, the upper middle class, some of the upper middle class, I would say, but then mostly it is middle class and then low middle class and the low income and the unemployment population, right? And single parents. The single parents means there are 3 different categories. The single parents can be only single dads or single moms, or even the grandparents can adopt the grandchildren because the parents might have died or divorced and nobody to take care of them. So then the grandparents can step in and adopt the grandchildren to take care of them. So they become the primary caregivers. and or the relatives, the brothers and siblings, the brothers or sisters can step in and they can adopt the children, and it can be even to the friends also. But then beyond that, it's all a deadliest tax fraud crime. Why? Education is a birthright. Education services is the holiest services. And education services must be 100% free, my dear fellow mankind. So tell me, who should have educated the USA government about this basic wisdom education? Is it your job? No. Is it my job? Never. Is it Republicans' job? No. Is it Democrats' job? No, 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 no. Then whose job it is? Is it insurance job? No, 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 no. Never. Is it software world's job? No. Is it entertainment world's job? No. Is it men's job? Because men's are only telling they are the gurus, they are the baby creators, they are the caregivers. Is it their job? No, 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 no. I'm proving males are never caregivers, isn't it? All the total male population are having their face down right now, this moment, with purest form of shame. And entire worldwide is watching why male are having their face down right in front of one true woman. I am that I am Vethapriya. Entire male population have fallen down in knees before me, my dear fellow mankind. You all should know why. You keep working on who am I, okay? That task, I want to keep it for a fun task, okay? I want to save the last for the best, okay? So this youngster, how it became to be a crime, a tax fraud crime. So education must be free. A nation should provide schooling education should be free and college education should be free. Okay. Now, what is a crime? Crime 1, crime count 1 and crime count 2, crime count 3. Crime count 1 level is, yes, they provided public schools. Wherever in all nations, public schools are free. Everybody knows that. Then, because it's a government aided school, so all the public schools will be free. Then, the crime level 2 count is, they created private schools. When there is public schools, why on the earth there be a need for a private school? Why nobody educated USA? So that means the budget provided for the private school is also a deadliest tax fraud in a tax fraud in a tax fraud crime. So that means 3 times of tax fraud crime. Yes, absolutely. In the private schools, the education or whatever they're going to provide, I don't know. That's a difference between the public schools versus the private schools. That is my understanding. I might be right, I might be wrong. But everything has its own pros and cons, right? But then what I want to display here is the deadliest crime on the baseline, on the foundation level. So education must be free, whether you are going to the public school, whether you're going to the private school, whether you're going to the charter school, whether you're going to the special needs school, whether you're going to the deaf and dumb school, whether you're going to the autism school, right? These are different classifications. Whether you're going to go to the children who have their brain development slow, lagging behind, then they have the special needs classification of school processing provided. Everything should be free, 100% free, my dear fellow mankind, right? And then comes the college. So when the children finish their schooling, at least 16 years, roughly, right? All the way from daycare, all the way to 12th grade, roughly 16 years will be gone. Just like that. And then they'll be going to face the filthiest world. Right? The world is filthy, no matter what. The parents cannot be at the back of the children. that the siblings cannot be back of their siblings in the college. Nobody. That's just the way it is. So then the colleges also, public colleges are all free. But then private colleges are all education. You have to provide tuition fees. So then the population, the middle class, low income, they will shed their blood and they work, right? And they will save that money just to provide education tuition loan for their children. If there is one child, two child, three child, whatever child the parents will provide, whatever they can do to get that education. So what is a crime? Like a chain reaction, crime. Tuition loan is a crime. I already see my earlier sessions about the loans tax fraud. So the education tuition loans is a tax fraud. So they're going to collect sales tax on that, they're going to collect state tax on that, they're going to collect federal tax on that, and they're going to keep that as a rock of loans on the head of the parents or grandparents or the students themselves. And for lifelong, they'll be paying only debt, regardless of the children after college, after graduating from the college, whether they're getting married or not, they'll be living and dying with the craziest skyrocketing tuition loans scandal. Now tell me, who created this kind of a chaos? Is it DCF? Is it Republicans? Is it Senate? Is it Congress? Is it GOP? Is it presidents? Is it vice presidents? Is it mayors? Is it governors? Is it teachers? Is it Harvard Law School? Is it Harvard Medical School? Is it you? Is it me? Is it males? Is it females? Who? Is it God of true Christianity? No, never. Then who? Is it insurance? No. Is it doctors? No, never. Then who? Who? Is it Department of Education? Never. Is it Department of Psychology or Department of Psychiatrists or Department of Mental Disorders or Department of Mental Health Services? Never. Who created this education scandal here? Can you all see how I'm keeping the knife on the neck of Pope Francis? He can say Hail Mary or Rosary or Lord's Prayer or whatever crap. He'll be thrown in the volcano in Hawaii any second, right? Being a double master's degree holder in chemistry and theology, and also a Roman Catholic Christianity Jesuits leader, and also creator of Swiss Guards Army Rifle Drugs creator, Pope Francis, a God of USA above all. Holy Highness, holy, and then also Highness, and also absolute, and also monarchs, and also jump from heaven too, and also perfect Republica, perfect man. You see? So he should say whether he knows what is education, or he should say he don't know, never even heard about the word called education. Oh, I nailed on the forehead of Pope Francis. So you all work on who am I. Then I'm tearing down Queen Elizabeth II cell by cell, isn't it? You're getting it? Then I'm also tearing down USA in pieces, piece by piece. Your work on whom I own USA. I'm the true owner of USA. My blood is boiling. My blood is boiling because being aware how the healthy, holiest education services providing processing model in United States of America and all nations is destroyed in pieces. Harvard Law School tax fraud, Harvard Medical School tax fraud, Massachusetts Institute of Technology tax fraud, right? Berkeley tax fraud, Stanford tax fraud. Those are all higher, costliest, prestigious brand. Princeton University. They are all costliest university. Only richest population can get into that. They have money, they can get into that. Don't know money, they'll be thrown out. They all provided tax fraud, crime, idea, fellow mankind. Oh, here you go. Nobody can help. Department of Children and Families. You see? Can all get it? Department of Children and Families can fall down in knees before me and hold my legs and keep on begging for mercy. And it might seem harsh, rude for you all. I will say, I'm helpless, Department of Children and Family. Just be shut down and get into the jail first. Your Department of Children and Family lost eligibility to even apologize to the population of USA for whatever deadliest crime they provided, and each and every single line of software code written for this YOUNGSTAR program in the state of Wisconsin is wrong. Is wrong. I already said the foolish people in the Department of Children and Families must be accusing me and wishing me dead, and the wisest in the Department of Children and Family must be saluting me, being aware I am, indeed I am. What education does President Joe Biden needed to make him aware that education of any form in United States of America and all nations must be 100% free to the population, regardless of the economic status, regardless of the skin color. What education? The task is I want you all to keep your God-given hands on your heart, and provide a correct answer. What education does 46th President of United States of America, a lawyer, a Democrat, President Joe Biden needs to know that education must be provided free to the civilians, regardless of public schools, regardless of charter schools, regardless of special needs schools, regardless of private schools, regardless of private Christian schools, regardless of atheism schools, regardless of non-Christian schools. What education does he need? What education does Kamala Harris need? A lawyer, a female. What education does Bernie Sanders, Romney, and Elizabeth Warren and Amy, they all need? What education do they need? So they proved they can never be lawmakers, isn't it? They're all the prostitutes. They're all the absolute purest form of prostitutes. And I'm displaying one more time, and you all know what it is. Yes, it is what you're all thinking. Yes. Some of the audience will be only cursing me to death for I'm saying the truth, the raw truth. And yes, President Trump is innocent. Just because he's not a liar versus President Joe Biden is a lawyer. You should have known. You should have known what exactly is a birthright. So that means, can you all see how everything is a chain reaction created in the spider web, and how God made me to get into that work, to work on the complex poverty-free earth end of the year 2030 volunteer project to help me to crack down all the crimes. Meaning, Pope Francis created all this crime in a meticulously way, designed like a criminal mind's design process. He used a spider web. Only loophole is he thought, he and the Queen Elizabeth II and all those absolute monarchs fools thought, there will be nobody who can crack down that crime they created in a spider web mode. And me, I went and cracked down layable means even I was able to talk to the spider web itself. So that means population was not able to understand this crime. Versus I was able to look into that crime as a spider web model mode, and I cracked down. I removed puzzle by puzzle, layer by layer, and I cracked down every single crime, my dear fellow man. Nothing is left out. So that is a good news, isn't it? When all the root cause of the crime is identified, that's a good news because the fixation is there. All you have to do is just throw one by one all the hell creators on the volcano, let them be gone in ashes. Then we all can be free, right? So the loophole what Pope Francis left is, he thought nobody can figure out this crime. Now tell me, whose responsibility and accountability is that in the entire human kingdom to educate USA government to provide free education to the population? Is it your job? No. Is it my job? Never. Is it Senate's job? No. Is it Congress, GOP, House of Representatives? No. Is it insurance? No. Is it doctors? No. Is it lawyers? No. Is it judges? No. Then who? It is the responsibility and accountability of whom? The Pope Francis, because he's a god of USA, you see. And Queen Elizabeth too, she's also god of USA too, and all the Islam leaders. So I will just throw them all in the volcano and I will only fry them in ashes because my blood is super boiling. How many of entire human kingdom, generations after generations, this scandal is going forever, for 500 long years. How many generations came and how many generations left? How many humans died out of that financial student loan debt alone? Right? So one side, the people brains is pressurized to go to the college, go to the school and go to get educated because already they got the student loan. They just cannot back off. So how people are pushed to the edge of the cliff with the one side financial loan, one side financial debt, one side the peer pressure to study and get through the grades in the colleges and schools accordingly, and they have to live through those bully and mocking part where there will be gifted child and the brain lagging children population, brain leading children population. The labor provided by the teachers, the labor provided by the parents. How this torture is provided in an organized way. When all these things is not enough, the unemployment population or the homeless population or the refugees population, they also have children, isn't it? The feelings is the feelings, my dear fellow mankind. Even they will love to send their children to the college or school, but since they do not have anything, zero in the bank balance, they will not be sending them to the school. Rather, they'll provide child labor. Oh, now there's another crime here, isn't it? So can you see how everything is a chain reaction? Everything is meticulously created in an organized way. So population in United States of America thought that, fooled that their own children, even in the child age, they can still go and work. That is wrong. That comes under the classification child labor tax fraud crime. Department of Children and Families provided that in the name of welfare of children. They are the super prostitutes organization in United States of America, right? That means even Las Vegas in city also gets some kind of a lesser when compared to the Department of Children Prostitution. Now tell me, how on the earth, when there is a Las Vegas Sin City legalized and signed by United States of America, how on the earth Department of Children Families Welfare even provided services for Las Vegas Sin City? Got it? How I nailed on the forehead of Pope Francis, and I'm tearing down cell by cell of Queen Elizabeth II and President Joe Biden is going to announce his resignation any second. Is a, I don't know. You all got it. Oh, this lady want to quiz. Oh, this lady want to use the quiz words. Oh, how on the earth she is working on how to use. Oh, and it's a learning process for you too, isn't it? Because for me, when I started to learn how not to use quiz words, I provided a goal. So, what goal was it? I should not use the quiz words when I'm in super angry mode or super frustrated mode. So, meaning only in that mode I will be using I used to use the quiz words. So, I put that as a goal, the scope and objective. And I worked towards it and I'm happy now. Right. Yes, even beyond there is there always a tolerance that blasts out, but this I could say it's very, very rare now. Right. So there you go. It's tip in my mouth to just cues, whatever words in whatever infinite times, President Joe Biden, isn't it? Nobody will ask me why. Tell me why nobody knows this basic foundation. It's a very basic foundation education, isn't it? It's a wisdom. A nation should always provide 100% free education to the population. Whether it's a single parents, whether they are parents, whether they are divorced, whether they are refugees, whether they are foster parents, regardless of having children or not. Right? Whether they are orphans, whether they are foster care, whether they are children from the orphanages. Education must be provided in an excellent way and it should be free. Why this basic education never provided? You all know, I have to provide this as a testimony, my dear fellow mankind. When I was working in the Poverty Free Earth End of the Year 2030 volunteer project, I educated first time 7.9 plus billions of humans having 2 years given by God. They started to hear the wisdom education, they got shocked. Why? I educated in Tamil Nadu, in India. There are a poverty population who cannot send their children to the public schools because of the poverty. And beyond that, they work on to send the children to the schools only to get the free school lunch program. United States of America started to shed tears of shame at the first place, first time. Nobody educated a nation like that, like how I educated. I slapped on the face of entire educated population. Then, okay, is this a scandal going on only in India and Tamil Nadu? No. You go to China, it is there. You go to Taiwan, it is there. You go to Pakistan, it is there. You go to Bangladesh, it is there. You go to Sri Lanka, it is there. You go to Iran, it is there. You go to Iraq, it is there. You go to Dubai, it is there. You go to wherever you go, it is there, including United States of America. So people are sending the children to the public schools just to have that free lunch program alone in United States of America in 50 states. And I'm not even talking about the colored skin, I'm talking about the white skin poverty population here. Because the colored skin population, that's a separate scandal. They are rejected in all levels. They are mandated to be on the roads and die out of hungry. They die out of without any education. That's a separate scandal that I have to handle. Don't worry, I'll surely get civil justice for them also. So tell me, Pope Francis is a white skin, Queen Elizabeth II is a white skin, President Joe Biden is a white skin. They all tell they are going to help the white skin, but they never help any of the white skin, isn't it? Can you all see? Can you all see the scandal? And I'm still standing on the same ground and proving time in and time again with all the sessions I provided that President Trump is innocent. Just because he's not a lawyer versus President Joe Biden is a lawyer. Who is he? He's a crap, isn't it? He proved he's a prostitute. He's a prostituting with Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth too. But when you're going to see Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II to provide the Christmas message, oh, the honey becomes bitterest, isn't it? They talk so sweetest. How did they get education from? They are royals, isn't it? So they can get homeschooling too, excellent homeschooling. So I stood up and I slapped Microsoft, I slapped Google, I slapped Apple, I slapped Facebook, I slapped all the colleges in United States of America. First time they got the fire slap from only one human out of 7.9 plus billions of humans. Then one woman. They're all male population. Until I slapped them, they never even knew that education should be free. Then, do you all know what I provided for a design solution which they are all working on and why they fear me? I provided a resolution design solutions after I displayed the error. I said all the nations should provide healthy internet connection, and that's quite enough. There's no need for education facility also, because even in the television, even in the media, the Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, they can provide online education, can be free. So that means the education can reach out to the remote villages. So that means people don't even have to bother to go to school anymore. Oh yeah, now you're laughing out loud, isn't it? Oh my word, is this the lady, the root cause for all this online education that's going on right now? Oh yes. Right? And I said, there are how many TV channels in the TVs, the medias? Make one channel to be education channel. So that way the people will get educated. So that means at their own pace, whatever learning capability the students and the children have, they can learn at their own pace, right? And I provided all the solutions. So with that said, that is how few years back, because I educated Facebook, Google, Apple, Massachusetts Institute of Technology and all the colleges, they also started to provide another option, in-person education versus online education like that. So how much of $1 trillion of revenue I provided just by my wisdom education? People are still working on it, and when I educated, I never knew 2020 this foolish Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks will create this crap, the COVID-19 crap. Nobody knew, even Apple, Google, nobody knew. Even I never knew. National leaders, nobody knew. I knew the Department of Health Services will come up with some kind of a foolish crap because I filed a lawsuit against them. But I never knew they will provide this kind of a crap. So, but then the Microsoft, the Google, the Apple, the Facebook, and televisions, they all were started to working towards that guidelines, the pathways. I provided the roadmap and the pathway, isn't it? So that is what a true leader will do. A true leader will provide the guidance, will discipline, will provide a roadmap and provide the wisdom pathways and will guide them. Oh, go walk in this wisdom ways and see. Just walk means I provided the healthy guidelines, right? And that is how all those software world are saluting me after all. But beyond that, this Republica, the scandal, that supersedes everything, right? And because that superseded, these are all software world are slaves to Pope Francis. So that becomes the helpless mode, and that is how they mandatedly threw acid on my face. Today, they all got it. Today, they all got it, isn't it? So even the public school, the free lunch program is also tax fraud crime. How even parents, when they are not able to pay their lunch fees or lunch program fees, the children will be denied for that lunch and will be mocked at in the school in front of the students. That innocent brain getting tortured. Even the adult humans cannot undergo that kind of a torture. Let's say if President Trump is going to a lunch program, President Trump or President Joe Biden is going for a lunch program, and let's say President Trump's parents or President Joe Biden's parents not able to provide the lunch program fees, and they are getting denied for getting that lunch, and when all their peers and the students are getting the lunch in the queue in the school, President Trump and President Joe Biden alone rejected from they're telling upfront, your parents never paid, sorry, today you cannot have lunch. Even the adult brain cannot tolerate it. They are richest people. For them, it's nothing. It's meaning they would have never gone hungry in their entire lifetime. Probably ups and downs they might have seen because they are all, President Trump is a business side, business mogul family. So he must have seen his ups and downs on his side. So even on the adult mode, when they are getting, insulted or bullied in front of other people, they cannot tolerate it. I cannot tolerate it. I don't know about my peers. It'll hurt me. Beyond being hungry, beyond being rejected of not provided as a lunch to me, it'll hurt me absolutely. Right? It'll be an emotional infliction on my brains. I don't know about my peers. But then, when it is tough for the adult people to handle it, how on the earth the young children can handle it? So that means the government officials are all adults only. So why they never even gone to that level of the children age? Because they are all were children once. President Trump was a kindergartner once. President Joe Biden was a kindergartner once, right? Then all the Senate, the Mitt Romney, the Elizabeth Warren, and Amy, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Vice President Pence, they were all kindergartners once, right? They all, for that lunch program, they all must have standing in the queue to get the lunch, right? Whether they studied in the private school or public school or charter school or whatever. But why those adult people in the government, be it Senate, Speaker, even Nancy Pelosi should have been a kindergartner once, right? Just like that, she never jumped in the earth as a Nancy Pelosi, the adult woman. No. So why the educated adults never even bothered to know, to be aware that children are humans? So when the adult humans even got the education of children are humans, so it's only through me, my dear fellow mankind. I only educated. And this is testimony I'm providing, right? So people were just fooling about, oh, see, we are Democrats, Democrats, like that. I again slapped. USA is never a Democrat country. USA is one hell of a Republican, communism, paganism, Islam, Judaism, Zionism country. Population got shocked, freaked out of the truth, the raw truth. It's difficult to digest the truth, but still I said, digest the truth. That is a divine healing process, you see. That can help in healthy healing process when you're starting to digest the truth the way it is. So I educated, see, the population worldwide, they got confused what is people. Are you laughing? I know you're all laughing. Can you all imagine for each and every single basic education only I have to step in and educate it. Population never knew what is people. So, but then the democracy code says for the people, to the people, by the people, we the people, like that. So I went and educated. I slapped again all the nations, all the governments, entire male population, entire female population, and because educated, nobody knows what is people, and that created a confused brain. And because of that confused brain, the adult population became foolish enough not to be aware that children are also humans. So the democratic code should be this way. The rightful way is for the humans, to the humans, by the humans, we the humans, to build the nations in clean love. Then I went on and explained what is a human and granularity of the human means starting with embryo. Starting with embryo cell is a human. So you and I, then people never got it. So then I have to go and provide more explanation. See, my dear fellow mankind, you and I were once embryo cell. You and I were once zygote cell. You and I were once fetus. And you and I were once created in the dark, in the womb, only known to God. When we were inside the womb of the dark womb, you and I, nobody knew how we all will be created, isn't it? But still we got created anyways. That is the proof of miracle of God, of true Christianity. So tell me, every single thing, the basic foundation only people never knew. They were thinking they knew, but they never knew it. Because then they would have provided healthy operations, isn't it? They never provided. So I nailed down all the true crime, and every single crime you name it, everything traces only to St. Peter's Basilica, 7 Hills of Rome, Pope Francis, the crab, the Antichrist, Lucifer, the Anti. I proved it. And yes, my dear fellow mankind, this session is a little bit, it went long too, because you all need to know what is the deadliest crime, right? So Department of Children Families is beyond getting the jail or getting to be, any moment to be sealed and shut down for indefinitely until I step in and bail out them. Nobody can bail out DCF at this moment of time. Nobody can help DCF. Even President Joe Biden cannot help DCF because of the crime they provided so deadliest. Everybody will back off. And it is also written as in Holy Bible. Because Department of Children Families has been merchandising, has been prostituting with Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth because they, in order to operate, it is Pope Francis who is sponsoring the dollars to the Department of Children Families. Now, you all got it. Why they threw acid on me, why they laid me off. When I displayed Pope Francis is a hell creator, right? Survival mode. At what cost more? Now you all got it. Whoever working for Department of Children and Families are all Prostitutes. Because they never bother to educate the real crime error to the Department of Children because everybody wanted to have the job. Versus at the cost of getting laid off. I displayed Pope Francis is the hell creator. I got laid off, right? And all along I've been only educating wisdom, my dear fellow mankind. All along. All along. But anyways, you are seeing why God is always God, always, all the time, isn't it? When adults cannot even handle those emotional processing, how on the earth the children can even process that? Why that basic knowledge or education adults do not have? The adult doctors at least should have stepped in and educated, isn't it? Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brink should have educated that. Rather, they were providing their old crap. They got the curse. Nobody can help Dr. Fauci or Dr. Brinks. Even I cannot help. But USA have to pay me $2 trillion for that, anyways. Right. So, yeah, this session is all about what? There is a government aided operation that provides educational financial services for household children. What is the reality? They never provided any help to the poverty population. Simple as that. So federal government is, I'm absolutely positive on that, and federal government is going to ask Department of Children Families agencies to be sealed and shut down indefinitely, and will provide them with a notice that Vethapriya will take over. Vethapriya will lead the DCF software IT division for next 5 to 10 years. Because once when they don't know how to provide the services correctly, don't you all think when I'm displaying all the errors, I'm the rightful eligible person beyond being true owner of USA? My blood is boiling, my development. It's not it's never a rocket science. It's the easiest processing to provide healthy process. It's just that they never bothered to provide, and everything traces only to Pope Francis. And I should become the Vatican leader. I should become the interim leader. President Joe Biden must resign now. So this is the overview part of it, and I will read the civil justice, okay? Why Republic, Democrat, Senate, GOP, Congress, House of Representatives, mayors, governors, presidents, vice presidents provided YOUNGSTAR, government aided, daycare, kindergarten to 12th grade, college tuition fees, tuition loans, tax fraud, crime, and year is already 2021. Did education fail humanity, or did humanity fail education? I, Vethapriya, PROSE, proved root cause for any or all of USA government errors, and I want USA civil justice as in Holy Bible guidelines only, civil justice as of April 3rd, 2021. Antichrist Pope Francis must resign now, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, must be the Vatican leader now. 46th President, lawyer, Democrat Joe Biden of USA must resign now, and I, Native Indian tribe, true owner of USA, must be the interim leader of USA now. At fault and found guilty of crimes of USA, of Vatican DCF agency in all 50 states of USA, must be sealed and shut down in next 1 second for classified human endangerment and tax fraud crime, and I alone can bail out DCF agency of USA. Nobody can. USA must pay tax-free $1,500 trillion to IM in next 1 second, and state of Wisconsin must pay tax-free $500 billion to IM, and USA DCF agency per state times is 50 states is 50 times 50 is tax-free $2,500 billion to IM. So what is the homework assignment for y'all? Oh, it's easiest assignment. Y'all don't need to worry about it. Take it easy mode, okay? Do you all know for your birthrights that always regardless of economic status of civilians, regardless of any skin color, per household, per child count, per age group, must, should, always, forever get 100% free education in child care, daycare, kindergarten to 12th grade, and colleges in all nations. Yes or no? Thank you all, my dear fellow mankind. Have a good day. Bye for now.